On April 29th, a reported 100,000 people gathered at Mount Meron in Israel to celebrate the annual Lag BaOmer festivities. Meron is the site of the tomb of Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, a revered 2nd century sage who ordained that the anniversary of his death be commemorated with a celebration of his life. Every year, tens of thousands of Orthodox Jews make a pilgrimage to Meron for Lag BaOmer, a religious holiday marked with all-night bonfires, prayer, and dancing. In the earliest hours of the next morning, tragedy struck, resulting in one of the worst peacetime disasters in religious history. As the dense crowd began to exit, some apparently slipped on a walkway and down a flight of stairs, falling on those below and precipitating a stampede and fatal crushing. 45 people were killed, over 150 injured, with 6 in critical condition and 18 in serious condition.
And all of a sudden we saw paramedics from Madam and whatever running by, like mid CPR on kids. And then one after the other started coming out, ambulances. Then we understood like something's going on here.
As the mayhem ensued at the festival, hundreds of emergency service crews arrived on the scene, but due to the immense size of the gathering, they struggled to get those in need of help and rescue.
We went to the ground zero. The injuries start to came, and we start the first aid. Unfortunately, at the end, we have 44 deaths.
Absolutely difficult sights. I've been a paramedic for 10 years and I've never seen anything like this.
The next day, in accordance to Jewish custom, funerals for dozens of victims of the deadly stampede were held with hundreds in attendance sharing their grief. Among the 45 people killed in the crush of bodies at the festival in northern Israel, there was at least 6 Americans with ties to the New York area. President Joe Biden said he spoke with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to offer his condolences. Biden said the U.S. stood ready to help Israel as it responds to the disaster.
That we're all heartbroken today. Instead of being happy and rejoicing on this great day of Lag BaOmer right here in Meron, people are walking around with their nose down instead of being high spirit and happy. And needless to say that the Israeli government will probably use this as an excuse not to allow anybody to come next year on Lag BaOmer to celebrate Lag BaOmer over here as it's been done for the past hundreds of years.
The following day, Israeli State Comptroller announced that he would be opening a special investigation into the disaster at the Meron compound, saying that the tragedy was preventable. The comptroller said the investigation would focus on 3 main aspects, starting with the decision makers and including law enforcement system prior to and during the event. Secondly, the administration of the Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai compound in Meron over the years and steps that can be taken to prevent the reoccurrence of such a disaster in the future. In a development, it was learned that the exit ramp where the chaos ensued was allegedly built without a permit and will feature prominently in the upcoming investigations.
We will carry out a thorough, serious and in-depth investigation in order to ensure that such a disaster does not reoccur.
As we've seen in history before, in a moment of total despair, a sense of unity was cultivated. Israelis of all sectors, Jews, Arabs, and Druze, religious and secular, mobilized to assist the victims and their families. Long lines formed outside blood drive stations across Israel after calls to the public were made to donate blood to help the relief effort. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was there and donated himself, where he then asked the public to continue donating blood in the coming weeks.
כמו רבים מאזרחי ישראל, באתי לתרום דם כאקט של הזדהות עם הפצועים וכאקט של הזדהות עם הטרגדיה הנוראית שקרתה כאן. ברגעי מבחן העם שלנו מתלכד, וזה מה שאנחנו עושים ברגע זה גם כן. אני אעשה הכל, ממשלת ישראל תעשה הכל לעזור למשפחות הנספים. אנחנו יודעים את הצער העמוק שלכם, אנחנו יודעים שעולמכם חרב, אנחנו נעזור לכם להשתקם בכל דרך ש...
As investigations are underway and bodies are buried, the nation of Israel, along with the collective world, mourns what could have been prevented and what can now be done to ensure a tragedy of this caliber never happens again.